Hey everyone, you're here with Mark on Perfect Gardens TV. So I have a two-part video. One, we're going to dive into Happy Frog. The next one, we're going to dive into Ocean Forest. Got a great question from Chris Baker 4570. Do you know when I can add CalMag and nitrogen to Happy Frog soil? Everyone says it lasts a month. I'm on week 4 and I've only given a teaspoon of Flora Nectar sweetener and started everything from clone. Okay, so I think he's a little confused right now. And on the part 2 video, we're going to get into Ocean Forest, and that's the one that actually has nitrogen in it, and it's going to last you about a month. On this video, we're going to talk about Happy Frog and how to use it properly to get your best benefits. And so with Happy Frog, Happy Frog is one of the only products in the Fox Farm line that I actually like. The issue around using soils from most hydroponic stores, and I don't really think the issue is coming from the supplier. I think it's coming from bags sitting too long at the hydroponic stores. But more often than not, you're going to get some type of bugs in your system, in the soil you purchase. Reading on hundreds of the comments I've received over the years, people find more often than not aphids or gnats in their soil. Because Happy Frog does retain a lot of water and is a heavier soil, there's a good chance that it might come with some gnats or aphids. So what I would recommend doing is if you have OrganiShield is the most crucial one on this specific part. Drops of Balance will act as a yucca extract. It'll help break the surface area and make OrganiShield work better in this situation. But I would mix up OrganiShield at a rate of 40 mLs per gallon, and I would treat the water with 1 ml per gallon, or actually, because you're just starting out, it would be at 5 mLs per gallon for Drops of Balance. And I would completely drench the soil before you plant in it. This same process would actually work great even if you're already planting in it, but because of all the recent studies that have been coming out with the benefits of what it does for when you treat the soil and you lock up the heavy metals, as well as you just completely get rid of any possibility of any bad bug problems. And it kind of sucks, actually, that the first thing I talk about when using Happy Frog is the possibility of you getting a pathogen and having to solve that problem. This complaint has reoccurred so often, and when I used to own my 9,000 square foot hydroponics store in Salinas, California, we would get bags from the manufacturer that were riddled with bugs. And I remember this. So yes, treat your soil, drench it completely. After you do that and let it sit for 24 to 48 hours, at that point, I would recommend mixing in, if you haven't already, and it'd probably be a good idea to mix it in all of this in the beginning prior to treating the soil with OrganiShield and Drops Balance. I would also incorporate ProMix. Normally they come in 4 cubic feet bags. I think they come also in 2 cubic foot bags. That's sphagnum peat moss. I would take that and I would mix it with the Happy Frog, and I would also use some pit moss, which pit moss is cardboard paper that helps retain water and creates a nice little environment for your bacteria. I would mix all this together. Because Happy Frog is so heavy, you're going to use the Pro Mix and I would cut this in half, like a 50-50 blend, because of how heavy the Happy Frog is. And when you use heavy soil, it's going to compact on your root system. So about 10% of your mix is going to be pit moss, and it would be 45 and 45 of the Happy and the Pro Mix. It's going to fluff up the soil a little bit. It's going to make it a little lighter. It's going to make your pots lighter as well. More often than not, when you're growing, you're going to want to finish off it at least in a 10-gallon size pot, and it's not the funnest when you're carrying around super dense soil and that bag's heavy and you have to move it around in your grow room. And actually, all this should have been done prior to treating your soil. Once again, so you would be adding in the Happy, the Pro Mix, the pit moss, and then because there is no extra fertilizer in Happy Frog, this is where you have to decide whether you're going to use dry amendments or you're going to be using liquid nutrients. If you are using dry amendments, I would recommend to check out my past video I just released that actually gives you a breakdown of how to make your own super soil and making that process very easy. So you would get all of the dry amendments, follow that recipe that I recommend, get the pit moss, Pro Mix. If you can't find Pro Mix, Sunshine also works well. Mix it all together, treat your soil with the water and the OrganiShield, let it rest for 24 to 48 hours. And then at this point, now you have a super soil that is heavy metal remediated, pesticide free or bug free because of the OrganiShield, and you have a soil mix that is ready to go. I've always liked Happy Frog. I like how inexpensive it is, how much soil soil you get for the bang for the buck, and that bag is normally a loss leader for most hydroponic stores. So they'll be selling it at probably the cost they get it for, just so that you're buying bottled nutrients or dry amendments or the other things that come along with it. Then after this point, after you've mixed all these things, 2 other products I would recommend you purchase is, one is going to be Mycos, and you can get all this, the Mycos, it Drops Balance, OrganiShield, the other product can be BAM. You can get those on perfectgardens.com. You're going to get the Mycos, and the Mycos is a endofungi. And when you're transplanting your seeds or your clones, you're going to get a little bit of Mycos, and you're going to spread it around the root system. The fungi that lives on the granulars will transfer onto the root system and will create a relationship with it. The next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get a product called BAM. That's your bacteria. I would recommend you ferment the product after you get it, because it will turn a 32-ounce bottle good for over 500 gallons of water. After you ferment it, then you start to use BAM and Drops of Balance to treat your water prior to giving it your plants. And as long as you follow the super soil recommendation on my other video that walks you through the dry amendments and everything you use, and you follow the process of re-amending your soil, literally you're going to have one of the best grows ever, especially if you're incorporating the OrganiShield as a foliar spray once a week to make sure you're knocking back the possibility of any bugs. OrganiShield is also used as a supplemental CO2 product, so you don't have to put tanks in your room. Drops Balance has been proven to reduce powdery mildew and mold by up to like 90% or something like that. It's insane what the results we got from the $30,000 field study report that was done in 2023. And literally, you guys are going to have a near perfect grow every time. Following the dry amendment recommendations, treating your soil, amending your soil. I know this was such a full question. I thought it was a great question, actually, because Happy Frog is a primary soil that a lot of people use. Make sure to check out part 2 on this video of how to use Ocean Forest properly. These are not brands that I like pushing. I don't think they're in line with my values, but it is a pivotal product that most people use, and knowing how to use these products properly will make you successful in growing your own medicine, growing healthy medicine that is better, going to be better than any club weed you're ever going to purchase. All right, have a great day. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Talk to you guys later.